When someone mentions the role of Christianity in slavery, a lot of things come to my mind. One thing that comes to my mind is Manifest Destiny, and that's when, you know, the European Christians believed that when they were colonizing America, that it was their divine right from Jesus, from God, to expand right and to hell with anybody who has anything to say about it. But when it comes to slavery, I think it's just a little bit different. What they did to us was, of course, they paid for us, they transported us, but they used their God given abilities to break our spirits, to destroy our culture, and to influence us because in its work, because the black Christian community is a huge one. And one question that I've had for most of my life is, you know, we're we're following a religion that was pretty much used to enslave us. And it's actually a very confusing one because I always ask, I'll ask my pastor or pastors that I know, and what do you think about Christianity's role in slavery and um, the current state of African Americans in this country? And the answers that I'll get is, sometimes you just have to forgive. But I think that forgiveness is just a way of them winning. I feel like Christianity was part of what took our culture away. When um, I'm actually learning about Egypt in my other humanities class, and they have animistic beliefs where there is one God, but his actions are brought through other gods, like Osiris, god of the underworld, or Isis, the goddess of fertility, and now they call them myths. I read books and I see them as Egyptian myths or Nubian myths. But I think that's Christianity's way of kind of wiping our culture out. And I find it difficult to accept the fact that, you know, well, they delivered us from they delivered us from Africa, so they wiped us clean of our culture and they gave us one, but it's okay now. It's still very confusing. But what it means to me is just that we've been, we have a lot to learn here. We have a lot to learn about our history. We have a lot to learn about our culture. It just, it shows me what's been lost, and hopefully that it can all be found by everyone, and not just the woke people, the people who can look, the people who can actually read, the people who actually immerse themselves in history, and not the history that they gave us, the history that we actually went out to look for. And it just, I don't know, it's very, very interesting to me. It just shows me that Christianity's main role was to take take what we had away from us and give us something new. And in their eyes, the meaning, the Christians, the white Christians, the Europeans, the better. They gave us better. They they like to think that that they saved us. That slavery was the best thing that happened to African Americans historically, and that's just basically what I really think about it. Thank you.